Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I thought I would show you guys my Switch collection, kind of talk about my collection, show you each game, and kind of reminisce about the Switch, because the Switch 2 is just around the corner. I've got about 30 physical games here. I'm not going to go super in-depth in all of them, because obviously that would take a while. We'd be here a while. But I do have the Switch OLED model. I did have the original Switch as well, but I gave it to a friend because once you upgrade to this one, I really have no use for the original one. But yeah, here's the games there. I'm just going to be grabbing them in no particular order and showing them you guys. And yeah, we're going to go through all of them today. And again, not super in-depth of every game because we would be here a while. So why don't we get started? Just going to grab a game here. Alright, the first game we're going to grab, we got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I feel like if you own a Switch, you probably own this game. This is probably my favorite Switch game, funny enough. It's the first one I grabbed. Probably the one I put the most hours into. The online's great. With the DLC, I mean, I forget, you got like 60 tracks or something. It's crazy. This is the best Mario Kart ever made. And if you have a Switch, I feel like, yeah, you definitely need one. If you're watching this and you have a Switch, you probably already have this, but probably the best Mario Kart. Alright, next we got, let's see, Luigi's Mansion 3. This one is, I actually remember having COVID a few years back, and I remember playing this with COVID. This was like my COVID game, I guess you'd say, when I had COVID for a week. I remember just sitting on the couch and playing through this game. This is an awesome one. This is probably the best Luigi's Mansion, in my opinion. This is probably the best, one of the best looking games on the Switch, graphically. Pretty impressive stuff. Yeah, another one, if you have a Switch, you should definitely check this out. Let's see, Lego Harry Potter. This is a fun one. This is kind of just a compilation of the two for the Switch. I do really like this one. I'm not a huge Lego games fan. I really like the first few, like Batman and stuff, and then after I kind of lost interest, but this is still a fun one. Probably one of the better Lego games. Alright, next we've got, let's see, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. This one, I did finish this one. This one's a pretty fun, it's a pretty short game. It's a good 3D Kirby game, pretty different from the other ones. Kirby can kind of eat stuff and take their abilities just like the other games, but I recommend this one if you can get it on sale. Unfortunately, seems Nintendo does not want to ever discount Switch games. They're always full price, but if you can get this on sale, I would recommend this one. If you like 3D platformers, definitely worth picking up. Let's see, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I did not finish this one, but if you are a Zelda fan, this is definitely a nice little spin-off. I can't say too much about this, but I do remember the combat being fun. Tons of enemies on the screen at once. It's a fun little side game. So if you enjoyed like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, looking for something a little different, I can recommend this one. Hollow Knight. I have played this, not much on the Switch, but this is another one I never finished. But if you like platformers and kind of Metroidvania stuff and with challenging boss fights, this is definitely worth a go. Again, I haven't finished it, so I can't give my full thoughts, but I know a lot of people absolutely adore this game, so I can recommend Hollow Knight. Final Fantasy XII, The Zodiac Age. This one I have played very little. I think I played it on the Xbox, but this is a kind of a remaster of the original on the PS2. And you know, the combat was okay. The combat really wasn't for me. It's kind of a it plays more like an MMO than a traditional turn-based Final Fantasy. But if you do like the combat, you can get past it, and it's a pretty solid entry to the franchise. I know a lot of people are quite mixed on this one. Some people love it, some people hate it, but I did get this pretty cheap, so yeah, it's a pretty solid port. And then we've got, this is a good one. This is another, you'll notice on the Switch, a common theme is a lot of games from the Wii U got ported to the Switch, and this is one of them. So the Wii U, of course, didn't sell too well. It was a kind of a commercial failure from Nintendo, and they rebound with the Switch. and most of the gems on the Wii U got ported to the Switch, except for a few like Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. But this is one of them that they ported over to the Switch, and basically this is like a 3D puzzle game platformer. So it's like getting from A to B, the different obstacles. It's a pretty fun game. It kind of reminds me of if you've played Donkey Kong on the Game Boy Advance or DS, Mario vs. Donkey Kong rather. It's kind of like that, but 3D. It's a pretty fun time. I think it's co-op, but yeah, if you get this again cheap, you like platformers or like puzzle games, I can recommend this. Let's see, Diablo 3. As you can see, this is sealed. I've never opened this. I did play Diablo 3 back in the day. I think I got this just because Diablo 4 was coming out. I wanted to replay 3, and I never actually got back to it. I know that when 3 came out, and by the end of the life cycle, it was a very, very different game. So maybe I'll go and go back and try to play Diablo 3. But if you've played Diablo, you know what to expect. It's, you know, run through dungeons, kill things, level up. I know a lot of people are partial to 2 as being their favorite, but yeah, just have the this one on Switch. But if you like Diablo, it's again another good port. Alright, the Arkham trilogy. Now this is a game that I honestly never thought would come to Switch, because this does include, as you can see, Arkham Knight. So I have not played Arkham Knight on the Switch. Arkham Knight is one of my favorite games of the last generation. Loved Arkham Knight. I'm a huge fan of the Arkham trilogy. Arkham Asylum and City are 2 of my favorite games of all time. I've probably beaten Arkham Asylum like at least 5 or 6 times, if not more. I've beaten Arkham City multiple times. Arkham City runs quite well on the Switch. Of course, it's locked at 30 FPS, just like the 360. But yeah, it actually plays surprisingly well, both Asylum and City. Now, Arkham Knight, honestly, if you can get it for PS4, Xbox, or PC, I can't imagine it would run very well on the Switch. But this is a really cool compilation and kind of a cool thing to have in the collection. Alright, Metroid Prime Remastered. This is a remake of the original on the GameCube, I believe. And yeah, this is if you're a Metroid fan and you have a Switch, you probably already have this, but first person Metroid, this is another one I have not finished, unfortunately. I did like what I played, but yeah, if you're a Metroid fan, it's kind of a must-have, honestly. And it plays, I want to say it runs at 60 FPS, which is really nice for the Switch. So another really good one. Alright, this one's a complete hidden gem. You've probably never heard of this, but yeah, just kidding. This is Tears of the Kingdom, one of the most popular games on Switch. I finished Breath of the Wild, which I will show you in a second, but did not finish this one. Another one I'd like to go back and finish, because I did not get too far on this one, if I'm being completely honest. Huge game. You got the Sky Islands, you got the underground, you can build stuff. I'm not so hot into the crafting stuff, like, you know, creating vehicles and whatnot. I know people have created some crazy stuff online, but this is, I mean, if you're a fan of Breath of the Wild, Zelda, I'm sure you already own this game, but obviously I can recommend this one. I know they're doing a Switch 2 version as well as Breath of the Wild that's going to be with higher frame rate fidelity, so if you are looking to pick up a Switch 2, you can wait to get the Switch 2 version. And speaking of Zelda, here we got Breath of the Wild. This one I did complete, and I did really enjoy this one. Not as much a fan of this as the older Zeldas, like something like Ocarina or even a Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess, but still do think this is one of the highlights of the Switch. Of course, this is the first open world Zelda. Kind of self-explanatory. If you have a Switch, you've most likely owned this or have played it. But yeah, it definitely has brought a lot of inspiration on games that have come after it. So yeah, obviously Breath of the Wild. If you have a Switch, definitely need that. Grab Breath of the Wild. Alright, Echoes of Wisdom. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I did not like this game at all. I thought the inventory management was super convoluted. So basically in this game, you play as Zelda, which is cool, but essentially you defeat monsters and you basically collect their abilities. but in order to use the abilities, you have to scroll through this giant wheel, it's really cumbersome and just slows down the gameplay. Not to mention the performance on this, especially when you're playing it on like a big TV, is terrible. The FPS, it jumps all over the place. It's super unstable, super stuttery. It's not as bad in handheld mode, but the performance honestly is just not good. And I found the game just kind of slow and not my cup of tea. You might like it, but this is definitely not one of my favorites. Now this game, funny enough, runs in the exact same engine, same art style, but Link's Awakening. This one is much better. I really enjoyed this game. This one has some slight performance issues as well, but the overall game I found just way more fun. This is more of your traditional Zelda game with overworld and dungeons. This is the type of Zelda game I prefer, and I really like this one a lot more than Echoes of Wisdom. So if you've seen Echoes of Wisdom or this one, definitely give Link's Awakening a try. Much better game in my opinion. Alright, we got if you're looking for an RPG to sink your teeth into for the Switch, something that you can play for weeks or months, this is one to look at. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Another one I have not finished 100%, but from what I played, I did like. This is a remake or remaster rather of the original from the Nintendo Wii, and it definitely looks a lot better than the Wii version, a lot sharper. This is the definitive version, so if you can get this, this is definitely the one to have over the Wii version. If you played the original and have a Switch, definitely pick this one up. Alright, we got a couple more RPGs here. We've got Shin Megami Tensei 5. Unfortunately, right after I got this, they released the expanded version, which I'm forgetting the name, Apocalypse maybe? I'm probably wrong on that, but yeah, this is a turn-based JRPG in the Shin Megami Tensei game. Basically, you're fighting demons and having them recruit them to your team. I can't really give too much input because I really haven't played much of this game at all, but I have seen a lot of people really praise it, especially the expanded version. So I would just get, if you want to get this, I would just get the version that has all of the content and expanded story. But yeah, I can't speak too much on it because I haven't really played it that much. Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. This is a remaster from the original game on the PS2. If you're a Shin Megami Tensei fan, definitely worth picking up. I couldn't really get into this too much. I think it takes place kind of the wasteland. It's kind of barren, but I might get some flack for this, but couldn't get into it too much. It definitely has a cool atmosphere, though. I will give it that. The story's a little vague, but if you're a Shin Megami Tensei fan, definitely a must-have. You can get this pretty cheap, too. I think I got it for under 20 bucks. Alright, Super Mario 3D All-Stars. This is a really cool compilation. Kind of a pricey game for some reason right now. I think I see it going for like $70 or $80. Even more new. But if you can find this for a decent price, it's worth it. Because you are getting three, classic games. Mario Galaxy is probably my favorite Wii game of all time. One of my favorite games of all time, period. And then you also get Sunshine and Mario 64. So it's nice to have them all in this one package. So yeah, if you have a Switch, you can find this for a good price. This is worth it. If you've never played Mario Galaxy, you could just get it on the Wii. But yeah, this is a cool little bundle. I wish they would do a I wish Nintendo would do a Mario 64 complete remake. That would be awesome. Sunshine as well, but I think Mario 64 could really use it because, it's a little rough playing it after playing something like a Galaxy. But yeah, cool package. Another cool RPG. This is Super Mario RPG. This is a complete remake of the original on the Super Nintendo, which is awesome because if you're looking for a complete in-box Super Nintendo copy, it's quite pricey, so to have this is really awesome. I was completely surprised when they announced this, and I'm really glad they did this because this is an awesome game. Very fun. They kept the original art style from the original game, just kind of remade it and polished it for modern visuals. But yeah, this is a really fun game. Not very challenging, fairly easy. But this is obviously, if you're new to turn-based RPGs in general, want something that's really just easy you can get into, this is a really easy recommendation. So if you're trying to get into JRPGs or RPGs in general and you got a Switch, Mario RPG is the perfect place to start. Even if you're to play a lot of RPGs like myself, this is a really fun game. Alright, next we got, let's see, Mario Wonder, Super Mario Brothers Wonder. You know, this is a, honestly, I was kind of tired of the 2D Mario games. There were so many from the DS and the Wii. It seemed like Nintendo just keep cranking them out. But honestly, this one was kind of refreshing. Completely different art style than we're used to. Some new power-ups, being able to transform into like all sorts of different objects. Again, it doesn't stray too far from the Mario 2D formula, but if you're a fan of 2D platformers like myself, this is an easy recommendation. Also, the special worlds are really challenging. It's got some really challenging levels, so if you're a Mario fan, 2D platformer fan, 100% recommend Mario Wonder. Alright, here is another top 3 Switch game of all time, and it's kind of obvious, but that one is Odyssey. Mario Odyssey, in my opinion, is the second best Mario game of all time, only behind Mario Galaxy. The music, the Easter eggs, the level design, the charm, the attention to detail, the graphics, everything about this game is just perfect. I mean, there's so much fan service in this game, and Easter eggs, throwbacks, wonderful level design. This is Nintendo at their best. When Nintendo's at their best, this is what it looks like. Mario Odyssey, if you have a Switch, you have to play this game. This game is amazing. Yeah, this is, like I said, my second favorite Mario game behind Galaxy, and I wholeheartedly recommend Mario Odyssey. Speaking of Mario, we got Mario 3D World Bowser's Fury. This is another kind of port from the Wii version, although this version has, as you can see, Bowser's Fury, which is kind of like its own little game. It's kind of like an add-on. But yeah, I really liked Mario 3D World on the Wii U. It's kind of forgotten about a little bit until I feel like the Switch version. I didn't hear a lot of people talking about it. Kind of gets overshadowed, but it's still a really good 3D Mario game. And what stands out about this one is that it is co-op. So you can play with, I believe, yes, up to 4 players. It's just a really fun 3D Mario game. Again, really creative. Not as good as Odyssey or Galaxy, in my opinion, but the ability to play this with friends really makes it stand out. So another really good one there. Speaking of platformers, we have Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. This game is absolutely awesome. I actually beat this recently for the first time on the PlayStation, but I also have this here, the Switch version, and I also have the game on Steam. I absolutely love this game. This is a really old school 2D platformer in the old school style, as you can see here. So it kind of reminds you of the old school original Nintendo, Super Nintendo era platformers. Very challenging. This one has all the DLC, boss fights. Again, this is a complete package. If you like old school, tough 2D platformers, I mean, this is one of the best ones. Still waiting for a official sequel. That would be great, but I can't recommend Shovel Knight Treasure Trove enough if you like 2D platformers. Alright, we got another of one of the best Switch games. This is the Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. This is the kind of remaster of the GameCube version, and I remember beating this about a year ago when I was on vacation, and I beat the game. Playing through this, absolutely fantastic. If you're a fan of any RPGs in general, turn-based RPGs, this is another one. Again, if you're new to RPGs, this is another great one to start with, along with Mario RPG. Really fantastic battle system. Got a lot of charm in the story and characters. Cannot recommend this enough. This is awesome that Nintendo brought this to the Switch. Then speaking of Paper Mario, we got the Origami King. This is actually the PAL version, as you can see here. I picked this up actually when I visited London, one of the local game stores. I actually haven't played this yet. I really would like to, because I absolutely love the Thousand Year Door. So I haven't really jumped into this yet, but I've heard good things about this. So if you like Paper Mario, this is another one to get. Alright, we just got a few games left here. This is Amori. So the best way to describe this game is probably a mix of, I would say, Undertale and Earthbound on the Super Nintendo. It's got a really simple, charming, as you can see, graphical style. Very, very Undertale, Earthbound-ish. I'm still playing this, but I can't really talk about it too much without spoiling the story, but it's very abstract, very weird, out there, but it has quite a dark story that I can't really talk about without spoiling it. But if you like kind of RPGs that are kind of weird and out there, and you like Undertale or Earthbound, I would definitely check out Omori. Alright, and one of my favorite RPGs on the Switch, Octopath Traveler 2. Now this is out on pretty much every console, PC. I really, really like Octopath Traveler 2. I haven't played the first one. So basically this is like your, it's a typical turn-based RPG, but you have all of these characters and you can kind of pick which ones you want to play as and which stories you want to do first. There's no particular order. And yeah, look at the visuals in this game are gorgeous. This is a lot of developers are trying to copy now the art style of this game. Absolutely gorgeous visuals. Really, really fun game, great battle system. If you are, again, a turn-based RPG fan, Octopath Traveler, especially the second one, is a must-play. I still need to finish this game. I got to the very end, I have not finished it yet. But yeah, this game is fantastic. Highly recommend Octopath Traveler 2. And then for the last game, we have Metroid Dread. If you're a Metroid fan, Metroidvania type games, this is a game to get. Not a huge fan of Metroidvania or Castlevania, I guess, type games. But if you are a Metroid fan, again, this is a must-have on the Switch. Really good graphics. Is one of the better looking games on the system, period. And yeah, if you're a Metroid fan, easy recommendation. But yeah, that'll do it for my physical Switch collection. And hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment if you about your favorite Switch game. If you know any hidden gems you'd like to share, leave a comment. And as always, liking the video really helps me out. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this look at my Switch collection. And until the next video, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.